Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you're watching the video. It's another day. So let's get started. Today is the 24th. The U.S. That will make tomorrow Thanksgiving. See here. What have I got on the schedule for today? I need to continue reading Edmondson. I need to work on slides. And what's my schedule look like? Meeting at 1. My first at 11. John's at 11. She's at 1:15. All right, so I have to eat. Katie is at 4. And then Sophia is at 8. I have 4 meetings today. I had 4 meetings yesterday, 4 meetings on Monday, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on Sunday, and 4 on Saturday. It's been a busy week. All right. So we also need some music. Let's see. We noticed that the initiatives we were reading about seemed to cluster based on the purpose or focus of the initiative, the core characteristics of the design, literature cited. Okay. It's like they used emergent theory. So I am, see here, sketched out emerging clusters from not emerging clusters of literature emerging from the review from reading. After selection, sketched out clusters of literature emerging from reading. Articles, selected articles. All right. Developed coding sheet. That's important. The coding scheme and revisions were recorded. Coding schemes and revisions. How did I know they were going to mention Huberman and Miles? Identified 6 clusters. Skill focus. Method focus. Oh, I like this. Reflection. Focus. Institutional focus. Disciplinary focus. Yep. I like this a lot. Inquiry focus. This is very useful. This gives us something to think about. The next section describes these 6 clusters of practice in detail. Oh, why'd you start a sentence with it? It is important to note that it is not our intention to value one cluster over another. We discuss the rationale for this further in the concluding section. We attend, in the following discussion, we intend. No, we attend. Okay, so we attend in the following discussion to the questions motivating this review. How are educational development practices designed? What is the thinking underpinning the design of development practice? by describing the core characteristics of the initiatives in each cluster and their internal consistency. All right, hold on. Why are you going after internal consistency? So you're going to address these two questions by describing the characteristics of each cluster. It's ANOVA. They're going to compare and contrast the clusters, and then they're going to talk about used an ANOVA method, a qualitative version of ANOVA to describe within and across the 6 clusters. Love it. Qualitative researchers trying to claim that there's no link between qualitative and quantitative research. Quantitative researchers trying to claim that qualitative research has no integrity or rigor. And I'm stuck in the middle looking at both sides going, you're all idiots. To further address the conceptual consistency of the initiatives in each cluster and thinking underpinning design, we discussed the literature most cited in the articles. All right, so how this literature was drawn on here. We discussed the literature most cited in the articles in each cluster, and to the extent possible, given the information provided in each article, how this literature was drawn on the design of each initiative. Okay, so they linked key articles to cluster characteristics. This is basically what I do. Linked key authors by key articles by major by linked key articles by author author recognition, listed key authors by author recognition within clusters to characteristics of clusters. So basically what they, okay, we're almost there. And they used at least 3 first authorships. Almost to a point where we can start to, and then here's table 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I get one more crack at the apple. Yep. Table 1 provides names and characteristics. Why can I not spell characteristics? Of the 6 clusters, but not the author names. Yep. With major authors provided in cluster description and descriptions of clusters. All right, so basically what they did was they built this table and they identified 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So within each cluster in this table, they then identified big ideas, somewhere between 4 and 6, with the majority following, so between 3 and 7. And then they used the next sections to further identify the major authors in those clusters. And these sections aren't sections, they are the clusters. Oof. With tertiary sections providing number of articles, major authors, and general descriptions of clusters. Four clusters. All right, so the table provides names and characteristics of the 6 clusters with theory sections providing number of articles, major authors, and general descriptions. General description or characteristics within clusters. There we go. We're going to get this paper read today because we don't have to actually read the sections. What we need to actually do is identify the authors. Well, we need to identify which sections do we want to consider. For example, I'm not interested in my writing to worry about institutions. Huh. Huberman and Miles, genius. Yeah, we're not going to be done today, but we're going to get close. So basically in this section, they do within. Used a qualitative version of ANOVA to describe within the 6 clusters. All right, so now in looking across, using a qualitative version of ANOVA to look across the 6 clusters. This is beautiful. Classified clusters as either outcome or process. Classified articles and initiatives. Let's see, our 6. All right. In the skill focus cluster, where the intended outcome is to acquire or enhance specific observable skills or techniques, initiatives often determine a baseline against which to compare later post-testing. In the method focus cluster, where the intended outcome is that faculty come to understand learning as supported by a particular method and use it in their teaching, assessment methods seek evidence of mastery method within the training session. Wait a second. Here's where you lost me, guys. You only talk about outcome within skill, method, and reflection. I would have talked about outcome in terms of institutional. So they're saying that skill, method, and focus is about outcome, and institutional disciplinary and inquiry is about process. Huh. Okay. That's interesting. Initiatives in outcome clusters. In outcome clusters, Initiatives are identified and anticipated. All right, so basically what you're saying here is anticipated. In process clusters, initiative linked to a process are linked to processes ought to lead into different outcomes. So basically what they're saying is if I'm dealing with articles that display skill, method, and reflection, they're very quantitative. You identify what is the skill, you identify what is the method, and then you put in some sort of hypothesis where you anticipate the outcome. Whereas if you are writing from an institutional, disciplinary, or inquiry-based model or cluster, you are being more qualitative. Man, they're creating binaries left and right. I hate you. Drive me nuts. Identify three contrasts. I like this. Identify three contrasts for discussion. For discussion, identify three contrasts. Basically, That's going to be discipline. Wow, I cannot wait to give the summary for this paper. We got one more section to go, but I'm going to go ahead and read these secondaries, these tertiaries, because they look interesting. In initiatives, let's see here. The 6 clusters in our framework can be broadly characterized as reflecting on... Oh, it's 8:30. Hold on. Time for a break. Let's see how badly the markets are treating us today. Badly. Ah, sweet. Yep. Nope. Yes. Okay. So the markets are hurting. That is life. All right. But not bad. Oof. I spoke too soon. No. Dadgummit, Dane. Why is it I can't remember these numbers when it's just a few minutes, but I can remember it when it's just a few seconds, but when it's a few minutes later, I have no problems remembering it. Too old. Okay. No. Why did I do that? Okay. Pum 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 pum. Not a fan of this song. Or is it really? I'm not a fan of Edward Auer. Or is it Chopin? This is after I added. Well, no, I haven't done anything here. We're losing money left and right, folks. But we're still up above yesterday. All right, back to work. We took a little break. And earnings seasons came and went again. All right. Took a little break. Now we go back to reading. In initiatives emphasizing an outcome. So that would be skill, method, and reflection. The outcome. Actually, no, I don't want to be there. I want to be here. So now when they use so really they're just categorizing. So what is institutional clusters that are categorized? The institutional positioning of development is often referred to as either centralized or decentralized, or a hybrid. Centralized refers to initiatives led by development staff from a centralized teaching support center. In these centers, staff deliver workshops, consultations, and other programs in the name of that center. Faculty members leave their own departments to attend to receive their support. Decentralized, by contrast, refers to models where development staff take on more facilitative roles, working with faculty in units or as members of project teams with faculty. It is not surprising that these terms are more evident in institutional documents that describe the functions of centralized teaching support centers and the roles assigned to them. All right, so this is saying that if you're centralized, you're basically having to come there. If you're decentralized, then the institution brings people to work with you. The initiatives and the skill and method clusters could be almost exclusively identified with central. In the institutional focus, the broad goals led to more centralized, so it's both. All right, so then you've used poor language here. So this is institutional. So it's not both, it's hybrid. reflection, disciplinary, inquiry. Okay. The intellectual positioning of development initiatives refer to the intended learning, an emphasis on acquiring particular content or tools of development. If we consider the learning intention of initiatives in the skill and method clusters, then certainly the emphasis is on specific content. Initiatives in the institutional focus are more mixed. See, that's terrible. You didn't. Is it hybrid? Is it mixed? So we're going to use that same methodology we used above. And I bet they're going to say these are also you didn't say. But you're not telling me if it is content. No, you're saying it's professional development. If we consider the learning intention of the initiatives, then certainly the emphasis is on specific content. So there is no hybrid. It's an or thing. So it's institutional, reflection, disciplinary, and inquiry. We think contextual positioning is the most interesting to think about and perhaps provides the most substantive contrast. Here, the distinction is between activities focusing on improving or enhancing an instructor's individual teaching practice versus activities that engage faculty in teaching enhancement is a socially situated practice. All right, so now basically what you're talking about is Bandura's model combined to a certain extent with an HPL framework. Embedded in the context of individual teaching practice. So it's individual. We think contextual positioning is the most interesting to think about and perhaps provides the most substantive contrast. Here, the distinction is between activities focusing on improving or enhancing the individual's practice versus activities that engage in enhancing a socially situated practice. Initiatives in both skill and method are embedded in the context of individual practice. So all clusters. Okay. One critical observation we make when looking across the initiatives in the 6 clusters of our framework is how infrequently these researchers explicitly recognize the broader context in which faculty teach and therefore in which education development happens. It's amazing. I need to make some figures. All right. All I have left on this article is the conclusion. I say all I have left. I have a couple other things left. But in terms of reading it, this is very interesting. All right. Conclusion. 9 o'clock. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 paragraphs. I really want to get this paper read this week. I need to at least get, well, when I say read, I mean read the sections, identify the authors and the journals. I don't think I'm going to be able to work on the slides today. We believe that the narrow question about impact and effectiveness of development asked by previous empirical reviews of the literature may not be the best questions to ask. To more deeply understand practice and to build a sound formation for further practice and research. Ooh, that's a bad sentence. Kennedy reminds us that empirical reviews are necessarily narrow, and this can make them less informative. We believe that this is the case with previous. So this is limitations. of previous research. We argue that the primary attention in previous empirical reviews Wait a second. It is a perfect example of how somebody didn't catch it. We argue that the primary attention in previous empirical reviews to how the impact of educational development initiatives. We argue that the primary attention in previous empirical reviews, comma, how the impact of educational development initiatives is assessed, comma, has led to the exclusion of many articles that present initiatives focusing on the learning process rather than on specific learning outcomes. Okay, so their review focused on both outcomes and processes. That's cool. Their framework for studying, reviewing literature may support future reviewers. Boy, that's true. We submit that the framework we articulate in this conceptual review is a fruitful way to build a better understanding of the variation and complexity of educational practice and the thinking underpinning this practice. They're right. The framework has the potential to serve as a tool for those involved in the practice of educational development to engage in the analysis of their practice. That's a terrible sentence. The conceptually consistent core characteristics of initiatives in each cluster and at least some evidence of common citations to the literature in each cluster suggests that five of the clusters, but you don't identify those five clusters. And then you focus on the exception. The exception may be the disciplinary cluster, which contained only 4 articles. All right, so disciplinary was your catch-all. And not enough common citations to meet our criteria of at least 3 citations in 3 separate articles. We think that this cluster is conceptually distinct from the others, but we realize that additional examples are needed to distinguish it more clearly, particularly from the reflection. So they're saying discipline and reflection believe that disciplinary and reflection clusters are too similar, which that makes sense. We tend to think about the things that we study. Thinking about thinking. You don't list your. You're kidding me. There we go. I am thinking that might not be a bad place to send this article. Don't come to the problem yet, Dane. All right. Boy, but that sounds like a good problem statement. Current model for education in graduate schools focuses on creating data analysts and not future scholars. That needs to go on lists. That needs to go at the beginning. We reflect on the work we have done in this study and ask ourselves, the literature we identified as evidence that educational development has become a more well-defined field of inquiry since Levinson, Rose, and Menges, authors of the first empirical review. Well-defined field of inquiry should draw upon coherent theory, subscribe to high standards of research, and build upon previous research in a systematic way. By these criteria, research on improving constitution is for most of its basis internally strained, and for some it is non-existent. And your writing is terrible. Used only published literature, review and articles, driving initiatives, in medical or university settings. Limited by the information within articles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We can do one more. Practice. Application to practice. Six cluster framework. Supports new ways of viewing literature in the discipline. 6 cluster framework. Provides method to investigate for future investigations. Of literature. So this was 8:43. No. 8:15 to 8:30. 8:43 to 'You gotta finish this. Review offers guidance for future development of the larger field. Of the discipline. Let's just stay within the discipline. I really like this article. Appendix. Appendix A. Literature. This is amazing. All right. References. Ackerland. Oof, I'm going to like Bowed. Probably going to like Clegg. I remember reading him. I remember Desdemona. Eisen, Evers, Hall, Dadgum. There's Gosling again. I'm going to do McAlpine. I've been pronouncing it wrong. Edmondson. It's Amundsen. Amundsen. Okay. All right. Where did I get these from? Oh, that's for the journal. All right. It is now 9:28. Metadata. Damn it. Date. Identification. Date of identification. (10/29/21). Date to begin reading. (22nd, 11/22/21). Date finished reading date. Began reading. Finished reading. Time spent reading. 45 is hour and a half, and hour and 45, 2 hours, 30 minutes. Where is that symbol? It's up here. No, I want to do that. Number of reading sessions. 3. Identification date. No. Date saved. Identified. Or saved. I hate that. Let's just do it this way. Save date. It's all There we go. Saved for reading. Began reading. Finished reading. Time spent reading. Time spent for note taking in reading. Nope. Time spent reading. Including note taking. Number of reading sessions. Approximately 2.5 hours, approximately 3 reading sessions. All right. Good morning. Hope you're doing well today. If I am in error, exempt. Let me know if you think and then to the website. Cheers. All right. This was fun. I've read one article this week. I've identified what I need to identify. I've added a couple of things. Now let's talk a little bit about recording schedules. Do we want to create? So that's done. Looks like we're not going to work on slides today. But what we can do Well, since no one's shown up today, and I have a meeting in an hour, and I'm not going to have a chance to eat from that point forward. I'm going to go ahead and end the stream today. Got a lot accomplished. Finished the article. We've set up our meetings. We've had a lot to think about. So if you watch this in the future, anyone, I hope you have a good day. I hope you have a good evening, whenever. And we will see you probably tomorrow, although maybe not, depending on the holiday season. Take care.